Hey, so today we're going to do something that's really fun, right? We got some questions. It says here, why do Aquarius questions? These are from Google. So some people Google these questions. Why do Aquarius blah? Why do Aquarius this? So we're going to read the questions until I'm going to say my part. And you're going to say your part in the comment section as to why Aquarius do these things. So this should be fun. I'm dying to see what the other 11 signs wonder about Aquarius. Okay, let's get started. My name is QueenAusetHeru, and thank you for joining me for the wonderful edition of Asking Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to anyone and everybody who might like it too. Please drop us a positive comment in the comment section. And if you want to get your own reading done, I would love to give you a reading. Hit me up. Underneath this video is going to be all of my information and my information for Patreon, so resources for you, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So let's get started. Aquarius. Why do Aquarius questions? Number one, this should be funny. Why do Aquarius lose friends? Well, Aquarius is the sign of friendship. So many of our friends we do have for a long time. My best buddy I met when I was 27. Another buddy I met, when I was in my 30s. We were friends until she passed away. Another buddy I met when I was 7. Another buddy I met when I was 3. Most of my buddies I joined when I was 10 and she passed away. So a lot of my buddies I've known for the majority of my life, right? So the friends that I've lost, I never really lose friends. If I lose a friend, it's usually because I stopped talking to them. That's generally what it is. They piss me off. I'm gonna be honest with you. They piss me off. They do something stupid. They stole something or was lying. They did something is the point. And I was like, I ain't putting up with that shit. A lot of people will put up with their friends' bad behavior. Aquarius will not. Aquarius will not. Sometimes we'll let you slide 1, 2, 3 times. But once we're pissed about it and we snap, that's going to be it. So any friends that I lost, I didn't lose. I kicked them to the curb. Is really what happened. People rarely kick me to the curb. I've been kicked to the curb, but rare. And that's not me bragging like, oh, people like me. No, that's serious. Because most of the time, I don't do things to people. You know? I don't usually do stuff to them. So most of the time, if you see me rolling with somebody and I ain't rolling with them no more, they did some nut shit. I'm telling you. And most Aquarius, that is the truth. Because Aquarius, like I said, is the sign of friendship. So we'll hold on to a friend as long as it's healthy to do so. But we will not. We will detach so quick. We will detach so fast your head will spin if you do something to us that hurts bad enough. Why do Aquarius ghost? We are known for ghosting. I really don't like it, but it's the truth. We're known for ghosting. Why do Aquarius ghost? Well, some Aquarius ghost because they need to recharge. This is a very common thing. We need to recharge. We're exhausted. Aquarius have a tendency to be workaholics. We have a lot of projects. We're some humanitarians. So a lot of times when we ghost, it's to recharge. We're exhausted. We've basically depleted ourselves of all the energetic resources that we had available, and we tired. That's what it is. So we've gone to detach in our rooms and deal with that vibration, and that's basically what it is. Let me pull this up. I don't want to lose it. So that's why we ghost. Or because the person did something, like in a relationship, the person might have did something that we didn't like, and so we ghosted. Aquarius with commitment issues will ghost you if they feel like you want more from them than they're willing to give, or if they're not ready for a commitment, if they're scared of their feelings, maybe. There's a lot of reasons why Aquarius ghosts, but we are known for that. But I stopped ghosting people. I'm going to tell you, I stopped ghosting people, and I stopped ghosting people because of Asking Aquarius. Because so many people told me how painful it was when an Aquarius ghosted them that I stopped ghosting people. And this is really funny. because I stopped ghosting people a long time ago. This is a long time. Y'all told me this like the beginning of my channel, and I was like, oh, it's that painful? Okay, I'll stop doing it. And now I just tell a person I'm no longer interested. I might send an email or a text, whatever. I just say I'm not interested and I move on. But when I got ghosted for a week. I got ghosted for a week in 2023 and I went off. I did not like that. I went off. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to do that no more. I'm glad I stopped doing it, and it was the right thing to do because I was pissed. I was livid. And it was only a week. Imagine people that get ghosted and the person never comes back, you know? So that's why Aquarius ghosts. We ghost to recharge, or we ghost because the person has done something to us, or we ghost because they want too much from us, or we ghost because we're afraid of the feeling or commitment or being with that person. It's a couple different reasons. It just depends on the situation. Why do Aquarius lie? Aquarius lie for the same reason that everybody else lies in the zodiac. Most people will at least tell little white lies. I'm the kind of person who tries my best to stay away from lies, period. And I do pretty good with that because, I mean, most of the time it's nothing really, even to lie about. But the thing about it is that the Aquarius who do lie, or when I did lie, it was because of the same reason. People lie either to protect themselves, they think they're going to get in trouble or something like that. Or they lie to protect you, your feelings, which of course comes back to them because how you feel about them affects them, So mostly people lie to cover their own ass. Okay? And some people, like habitual liars, lie for no reason at all. I can't even figure that out. They just lie because. Like Hannibal is the covert narcissist. So not Aquarius, but covert narcissist of any sign will lie for no reason. No reason at all. So remember that. Sometimes people don't even have a reason. They're just a freaking liar, So, yeah. Why do Aquarius stare? Aquarius do have a stare. We do. For me, it's like, it depends on which stare you get. If you get that stare, it's like, that's an unfavorable stare, Or if it's more like, I'm just figuring things out. So if an Aquarius is staring, they're probably observing something and trying to figure out what they're looking at. It could be positive or negative, really, but the Aquarius is figuring it out. That's a figuring out stare. We have a tendency to overthink anyway, so that's probably what's going on. Why do Aquarius shut down? Aquarius shut down when we're overwhelmed. Back to the ghosting thing. We shut down when we're overwhelmed, and we shut down when arguing. We don't like to argue. So if our conversation with you, and mind you, this is when we're older. Young Aquarius will argue with you. Older Aquarius, we ain't got time. We ain't got time for it. So if I've tried to talk to you over and over again, and I feel like the conversation is futile, I shut off. If I try to talk to you and you're lying and I know you're lying, I shut off. I won't even talk to you if I know you're lying to me. I don't. Why am I talking to you and I know you're lying? Like, what are the situation I went through with Hannibal, or the situation I went through with my buddy's wife? Same thing. I'm going to tell you both of these. My buddy's wife and I were cool. And I didn't really like her, but she was my buddy's wife, so I'm be polite to my buddy's wife, right? So something popped off with her and him, and she got mad at me because I, what did I do? Ignored her. I just ignored her. I didn't respond to her. Then I blocked her on Facebook, and she was mad at me about it and was like, well, why did she do that? Like, why didn't I respond? Why didn't I try to help? Because she was lying to me. She was straight up lying to me. And I knew she was lying because I'm reading the cards, dummy. I know you're lying, and I'm talking to him. And he recording you and playing the recordings. So the combination of those three things, I know you're lying to him. I know you're lying to me. I'm not being bothered with this. The situation with Hannibal. He just kept lying and lying and lying. And I talked on the phone with him, and his wife was on the phone. It was the three of us. I talked to them on the phone for a couple minutes. I don't know, maybe 20, I don't know, 30. And I was just like, I ain't talking to him no more. I ain't got nothing else to say. He lied the whole time. He told some truths and then lied, then told some more truths, then lied again. And I was just like, I don't have time for that. So if an Aquarius shuts down, it could be that too. If you're doing something we ain't got time for, something that's exhausting to us, something we think is stupid and don't want to be bothered with, if you are a nag, a bugaboo, neurotic, a pain in the ass, always got an issue, we're going to shut off on you. And we might not ever shut back on. So that's why Aquarius shut down. Why do Aquarius men distance themselves? Because they're either afraid to fall in love and be with a person. So they've told themselves they're never going to fall in love. So if they start to feel something or they see you feeling something, they skedaddle. Okay? And that's emotionally unavailable. Put it like that. And if they're emotionally unavailable, it's in your best interest that they skedaddle, because period, point blank, they have to go deal with that. Okay? They gotta go heal that, you know? They can't be all up in your face. They need to go deal with that, and then maybe they might be able to work it out. I don't know. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. But that's why they distance themselves. Or they distance themselves because they realize a lot of Aquarius are, like I said, the non-committal thing, and they might think that you want more than they do. And so they will distance themselves. You know, like for example, if you're with an Aquarius and y'all have an entanglement or friends with benefits going, and you start acting jealous or possessive, Aquarius is out. So, that's why, and men, not just the men, the women too, will distance themselves over things like that. So if your Aquarius is distancing themselves, there's an emotional problem present there. And if they're not willing to work through it, you're not going to be able to do nothing with them, because Aquarius is stubborn. I have a lot of women especially come to me to do readings on Aquarius, and a lot of times that's the problem. And these women, some of them are in the comment section, will tell you it don't work out. They keep trying, it's like pulling teeth, and the Aquarius just keeps on acting distant. Why do Aquarius men ignore you? Same reason, same thing. So don't think it's because he don't like you or don't care about you, because sometimes it is that. Sometimes it is. Sometimes he just not feeling you. But sometimes he is feeling you too much. And he's like, oh, nah. Nah, I'm not doing this. So-and-so broke my heart in 1972, and I promised myself that wouldn't happen again. It's that kind of thing. And those men are very stubborn. And if it's a woman, very stubborn, and will pretty much hold on to that. Aquarius is stubborn. So if we say yes to something, it's yes. And if we say no, it's no. So if that person has decided that they're never going to be with another person, they're going to be by themselves, whatever the case is, that's going to be something that only the Aquarius can change their mind on that. I don't care how good you are, how good you look, how good you smell, how good you taste, how good your food is, how much, gifts you give us. I don't care. If an Aquarius is saying no, it's no. Why do Aquarius get mad easily? We are a very sensitive sign. Most people do not know that because we don't show it a good portion of the time. I show it, y'all know, because y'all watch my show. I show it because I think it's unhealthy not to. I think a lot of the things that Aquarius do, emotionally speaking, are unhealthy. So I unlearn those habits, But that's basically what it is. We're very sensitive and we're different. We're odd. We're eccentric. People always talking shit about us. People always putting us down. People always saying that, that we're doing something that's unorthodox or not of the status quo. It's always some crap. And then 2 years later, they're doing the same damn thing Aquarius was doing 2 years ago, So we are very sensitive because we're constantly attacked. We're constantly treated some type of way, talked about, looked down on, especially from people who are in the status quo, and we're eccentric. We're very different, and some people love that about us, and that is our superpower. But the people that don't love that are constantly talking shit about us and constantly attacking us, constantly jealous, constantly undermining us, and we still come out on top. Ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? People be coming at us and we still handle it. We still float by. We still laugh in your face. We still happier than you are. We still doing better than you. And you did all that plotting and lying and all that, and I'm good. You know? People hate that. And that's Aquarius, you know? And it is our cross to bear. Aquarius have to learn to love themselves despite all those naysayers. So we're extremely sensitive because of those reasons. And a lot of us don't show it. We're very emotional. So that's why we get mad easily, because we're emotional. And a lot of us don't, it may seem like we get mad easily to you, but I'm going to tell you something. If an Aquarius is angry, they probably let it slide 2 or 3 times before they got angry, but you didn't notice because whatever you did, they didn't say anything. Aquarius sometimes, that's something that I keep telling myself to stop doing. Sometimes I let shit slide because I really don't be bothered. I don't want to be bothered with the bullshit, okay? And I let it slide, let it slide, let it slide, and then you done piss me off. And now I done snap. And it seemed like to you, I'm overreacting. It seemed like to you, I got mad easily. But I was mad for 6 months. Okay? You did some shit up front I was pissed about. I didn't say nothing about it. Let your punk ass slide. Okay? Let you slide. Oh! And now we here 6 months later, and I done snapped, and you like, why are you getting so mad at me? You lucky I don't choke you, you know? So that's what it be. Letting stuff slide and being sensitive. That's what it is. Why do Aquarius and Virgo clash? Aquarius and Virgo have a lot of things that are in common. So it's common for us to be friends, but it's common for Aquarius to walk away from Virgo as a friend, because Virgos have the tendency to be nitpicky, and Aquarius don't like that nitpicky stuff. We laid back, you know, and Virgos aren't. So sometimes that's a big problem. Also, Virgos, they're in service to people. They will help people, stuff like that. But they don't, I don't know. They make me mad. Sometimes they make me mad, you know, and I've seen this all my lifetime with Virgos. Sometimes the way that they are pisses me off. Sometimes I think it's on purpose. I think they pick at people on purpose. But yeah, sometimes they piss us off. They piss off Aquarius with their sometimes, like, Aquarius is very strong in our convictions, you know, and Virgo is real big in being a perfectionist, making sure things are just right and things like that. So sometimes they have a hard time making decisions, and that irritates Aquarius. It's like, figure out what you believe, motherfucker, and stand behind it. That irritates us. And Virgos don't always do that. Sometimes they have a hard time figuring out what they believe. It's hard for them sometimes. Once they understand, it's cool, but sometimes it takes them a little bit. A lot of the Virgos I know personally were late bloomers because of that. And it's not a bad thing. It is what it is. And sometimes Aquarius get impatient with that. And, you know, that's where the rift comes in. I got a Virgo buddy. I done got mad at him so many times. I love him so much. Good person. But he be pissing me off with that shit. He pissing me off. He be like, well, I don't really know if that's really what's going on. And I'm looking at him like, you not intuitive enough to really know what's going on for real. Or you just don't want to deal with what's going on. You know, we get into that a lot. And as I got older, I just stopped asking the question. I just stopped. He say something to me now, I'll be like, I roll my eyes and keep it moving, you know? So, yeah, that's where the clash comes in. But I've matured enough now that I just don't start none, won't be none, you know? I just let it slide. As long as it's not something that's detrimental to us, you know, I'll just let it slide. Because most of the times, the stuff that we argue about is philosophical things. I'm telling you, it's never about us. You know, he's always good to me. That's my buddy, my ace. I'm good to him. I look out. You know, that part is never a problem. It's always philosophical things we argue about and clash about and stuff like that. You know, notions and, you know, character, spirituality, morality, stuff like that. Not too much spirituality, but political stuff, things like that, you know, we clash on. So yeah. A trip. And the last one, why do Aquarius hate Taurus? I didn't know we hated Taurus. Is it beef with Taurus? When did this go? No, Aquarius don't hate Taurus. Aquarius have a very strong sexual attraction to Taurus, especially third decan Aquarius. Very strong because of the influence of Venus. There's an influence from Venus on third decan Aquarius and Taurus and Libras. So there's often a connection in that area. The only thing I don't like about Taurus is that they're stubborn sometimes for no reason, and that should get on my nerves. And I would say oblivious sometimes. Sometimes Taurus lie to themselves. They're the kind of sign that I've found to be. And one of my best buddies I told you about, the one that bought me this doll when my friend Teresa died, she's a Taurus, and she can be stubborn and oblivious for no freaking reason. And I just leave it. Like when we were kids, I would try to bust her out of it. Like, look at this, see it. And now I'll be like, all right. I've become real nonchalant in my old age. I'm trying to tell y'all. I turned 48 February 13th. And I'm just like, whatever. Whatever you want to do. Or you want to believe that? You want to be in denial? Okay. Like, all right. I've just learned to leave people where they are. I tell them the truth, and then I leave them where they are, because that means they're not ready to deal with the truth. And it took me a long time to realize that that's just the bottom line sometimes. So yeah, that's the deal with Taurus. We don't hate them. They just got some issues that we rather not deal with sometimes. Darrell Bivens, thank you so much. Turned the big 60 on the 20th. Some of these are older. So Darrell's birthday was probably like January or February. Happy birthday, Darrell. Because some of these are pretty old, but happy birthday. Happy belated birthday. All right, so let me see. Dewan Nails? I don't know how to say that. I'm trying to get it. I was like, that part says nails 9079. So is it Detwa? I'm guessing Detwa Nails 9079. I love your honesty. Thank you. I believe in it. I believe in it strongly. I believe that the problem with most relationships is that the other person or both people are not being honest. So I've just learned over the years that it's easier. Nobody wins with deception. Nobody. You don't win and they don't win. If you lie to your mom, your child, your significant other, you don't win and neither does that person. You might have got away with it for that moment. You might have got the heat off your back for that moment. But if it's really somebody you love, like in a relationship, and you're lying to them just to maintain, you're not really maintaining. You might maintain a relationship longer as far as time is concerned, but look at the quality of the relationship. A relationship that's built on dishonesty is like a house of cards. It's going to tumble. It's going to fall. Y'all might stick to it forever. I know a lot of couples that are lying to each other right now. I have a client that came to me a couple of years ago and was telling me how she had a baby. And her and her husband had planned this baby. They wanted this baby, And then she found out the baby wasn't his. She had a one-night stand with some dude while he was on a business trip. And the baby belonged to the dude. 8 years later or a couple of years later, I can't remember how many years ago this was. A couple of years ago, I did this reading. And the last time I talked to her online, they were still together. And he still didn't know that wasn't his baby. So if you're in a relationship and you got a deep secret, or if you're cheating, or if you done swore up and down you didn't do something that you did do, that deception is all, that energy of deception is all up in your spirit, all up in your aura, all up in your relationship. And you sitting there trying to make the relationship work, wondering why it's not working. It's working because y'all lying. Y'all lying. You can't build nothing strong on some lies. So if you're in a situation where you or somebody is lying to each other, tell them the truth. Just fess up and stop it. Like, stop that. Tell the truth. And like they say in the old days, tell the truth and shame the devil. Just tell the truth. Even if that person's angry with you, even if y'all go through some changes behind it, it is the only way to clear the energy. Confession is the only way to change your relationship. Let's say you want to change your marriage for the better, but you're still lying. It's not going to work. You might get it back together. You might pull it back together for a little while, but eventually that energy, that bad energy, trust me, it's going to rear its ugly head over and over again. All right, loves, that was it. You come back soon because I got a lot more to say. See you later.